Red River Valley was composed around 1870, the Wild West era. Two of the instruments used in this recording are long forgotten to history. They would be the Ale zither, or the variable zither, which you see here, and the table violin, which you can hear prominently in the recording that you just heard. The third instrument used is the German concert zither, which survives to this day. So at least that one made it out okay. Though the history of the zither was purposefully erased from American culture and history in the early 1900s, some evidence does exist in the form of photographs and letters that German immigrants sent home from the US to Germany. Though extremely rare, photos like this can be found depicting a captain in the Civil War using a German concert zither. The US Civil War took place in between the California Gold Rush, which started in 1848, and the Wild West era, which ended in 1895. Hi, I'm Jerrel. I do composing for part of my career, and lately I've been working on a project which has been very exciting for me. I have been researching the history of zithers in America, particularly during the 1800s and the Wild West era. I have been recreating Wild West music as faithfully as possible by performing with instruments that are genuinely from the 1800s, the Wild West era, so totally disregarding the Hollywood stereotype and the fake manufactured Hollywood sound. The track that you would have just heard, I recorded strictly with genuine instruments from the 1800s. Part of my project has involved rescuing and restoring extremely rare zithers from the Wild West era. Some zithers that I found I've only ever seen 2 or 3 auctions ever appear online over the last few years. Some of them I don't even see them playable. I see them totally destroyed and I restore them and make them playable. I would like to work on a documentary that shares the history of zithers throughout the 1800s, so that would be westward expansion, Gold Rush era, Civil War, and the Wild West era, how they were erased, what information we can find, and why the history of zithers was erased from America, because it absolutely was a huge part of culture, and if certain events had not occurred in the early 1900s, zithers would still be a prominent part of our culture and very likely would be just as popular as mandolins, banjos, and guitars. Part of my project involves wanting to create schematics for the zithers that I find and restore. And that means that I will record all of the dimensions, I will make tracings of the instruments and mark out exactly the dimensions of everything. Also the strings and the zither peg placement and the tunings and the string configurations for each of the zithers so that I can offer those online. I would like to make them available digitally for free, or to make it even easier for some people, I can actually sell printouts so that people can order the printouts and they can take those to a maker and say, hey, can you make me one of these? Or you guys can make it yourself. You don't need the kind of musical luthier precision that you would need to make, say, for example, a guitar or a violin. So this is something that really anyone with woodworking skills would be able to make themselves. And that's something that I want to do to help restore this lost part of our history. This is something that should be something that we celebrate and look back on, and it's been erased, it's been gone, and I'm hoping that with this project I can bring that part of our history back. So alongside that, I hope to create a website which hosts all of the information and the history I find. I'm hoping to hear people who have anecdotes and stories about their families tracing back to the late 1800s, early 1900s. And I hope on that website I can share the recordings that I create as well, such as the recording you heard just now. But working on this project is very time consuming and expensive, and I run my own business, so I don't get to work on this project as much as I would like to, especially when it comes to replacing all of the strings for the zithers that I restore. They absolutely need string replacements or you will destroy these instruments. And that is one of the things that sort of stops me from working on more of these. So if you would like to contribute to this project, you can donate any sum that you would like. I'll put a link to my PayPal donation link, and I can put that towards parts so I can work on these zithers more and restore them a bit faster. I have a couple sitting in my workshop right now that I haven't finished because it's so pricey doing all the strings and spending time working on that. So I would really appreciate that if you guys would like to contribute to that. Also, it is very pricey. Once in a while, I will find an extremely rare zither in auction online, and they're like a couple $100. And my intention is to restore that instrument, make it playable, and then share the schematics so that people can build their own. But that's so expensive, and it really adds up. So there have been a couple zithers that have slipped through my grasp. So if you would like to contribute to PayPal, it really would help me a huge amount. I would also like to start building these on my own as well, and then helping spread this really fantastic history. So I hope you enjoyed the recording. Thanks very much. I'm going to make the MP3 available. I haven't set up a website for these Wild West Zithers recordings yet, so it'll just be a temporary link, but I will make the MP3 available in the description. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Come home again soon, and I will leave the porch light on for you.